begin with Dave and this time. With average test scores, both in reading and math, the lowest they've been in over 10 years, what do you think could be some potential steps to be taken to improve Kenosha School District's scores, and how could these initiatives become implemented in all grades and all schools?
I don't know that those are exact numbers, but we certainly are all working to try to create the best situations we can regarding testing. As you all know, standardized testing is one of the things that we certainly are graded on every year. I hated as a principal to have to start teaching to the test, but we have to, and we must focus on that if we are going to bring our scores up. Is that the right way to go? I guess educationally, I personally did not like to go that route, but we must. And we are going to have to spend more time on test taking, which we are doing, but even more than we are now. We are going to have to spend more time doing prep. Obviously, another thing that we are doing, but it is so important to us, all right, to see those scores go up each year. That is one of the goals that we have in this district. Site teams in the buildings have it in the district. It is part of our strategic plan. We certainly are not happy at the level we are at now, but it's certainly something that we are working on and we are not turning our backs on.
Mr. Gallo? What can we do to improve Kenosha reading and math scores?
That's, as David mentioned, that's an ongoing problem. It's going to continue to be. You know, you've all heard the saying, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. We can put the most dedicated teachers in front of a classroom. We can give them all the laptop computers they need, all the books. We could try to motivate them. Can't force them to learn. Can't force them to retain. Can't force them to even show up in some of the cases. It's something that we need to put more work into. We want the test scores to go up. It is unfortunate that they have to teach to the test, because it really doesn't help teach these kids how to be critical thinkers. But I understand the need for it. I understand what the state tells us that we have to do, but it's very unfortunate. I do believe that most kids are out there trying to get the education they need, and we put our time and resources into them, and we hope for the best. I also firmly believe there's kids out there that maybe shouldn't be out there in some of those classrooms. We're not going to reach all of them. I don't want to, I'm sorry to say that, but it's the fact. You're not going to reach all of the kids. Some of them are just going to always be a problem, and it's going to affect our test scores. It's going to be tough to motivate them, but it is something that's going to have to keep moving forward on. We're going to have to keep trying what we can do to keep them in the classrooms, keep them involved, keep them motivated, but as far as there's no easy fix to say, you know, here we are with our test scores, we have to get to this point. Something like that can take years to do. And like anything else in the district, it takes time and money.
Mr. Nuzzo.
Dave and I are pretty big guys, so we pass by here. But you know, I'm Italian, so I talk with my hands. I got to move around here. Oh gosh. Attitude. Anybody ever heard that word? Attitude. If you make it fun to learn, they'll learn. That's the whole key. We don't make it fun in school. You can have fun in school. Anybody here have fun in school? I do. My Lord, let's do it. Let's make it have fun. Then the kids will go to school. How do we do that? We have excited teachers that have have the tools to teach them. That's all the key. Let's reduce it down to simple. When somebody brings me a problem, when I was Martin Peterson Company, 250 employees, and they brought me a problem, I look at them and I said, you brought a problem, give me your solution. Okay? That's what I want. I want thinkers. We have to teach kids to think. That's how they get better scores. Be problem solvers. That's how they get better scores. Not teach to the test. Excuse me.
Stephen.
Well, I'm a big one. I'm not crazy about the testing either, because we can compare one child to the other, but they all come from different backgrounds, but different circumstances, different support systems. In my own home, as I said, I adopted 3 children. I have 1 biological child. They come into the world as a unique person. So we can try to standardize everything as much as we want. Connections and relationships are what it's about. When we get them in the elementary schools and getting them excited about learning, that takes a group effort. We need to use every single tool we have and every single approach we can in partnering with different community opportunities such as KABA and the mentoring program and all those things. One of the things that we know now, thanks to a lot of the brain studies, we can prove it. I mean, it's pretty much common sense that a hungry child is not going to learn. So I am thankful that we have breakfast programs in most of our elementary schools now. I experienced working in an elementary school where children came in daily without anything for breakfast, and many times they probably did not eat the night before. That child is going to be distracted. That child is not going to be able to think of anything but food. Our brains have to have, I missed breakfast this morning, I'm sorry to say. So I'm thinking about food right now as well, but I can also think of other things. I'm an adult. Think of it as a little kid and you don't have that opportunity. We know they need to have food to eat. Do we have some direct areas in math and reading where we can focus on to help us come up? And one of my biggest concerns is when we go from 8th grade, our 8th grade reading level is 84.1, meeting those rates. When we get into the 10th grade, it drops drastically to 61.5. So I'm looking at those numbers, and I'm going to say, let's look at what's going on from 8th grade to 9th grade. What are we doing, and how can we help build success for the transition times from elementary to middle, from middle to high school? Those are concrete numbers there. We have common assessments now. It's a lot of extra work for teachers to do, but those common assessments identify areas early and often. So we don't have to wait till 2nd semester to solve a problem for an elementary child that's struggling in reading. We can do this on a weekly basis. We are doing this now, thanks to very innovative administrators, teachers, and it's a team effort. They're working together. They're taking the data and they're actually using it. Do I think children need to be excited about learning? Absolutely. But we also, as adults, need to model that excitement. And we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to work together to create climates for success. You guys all know, anybody that's in business, if you don't have a climate for success, you don't get success. So we're doing those things and we're continuing to work on those things to improve the opportunities for all students, because I believe all students can learn.
Thank you.